Moses stuttered and lived for 120 years. Moses is mentioned over 750 times in the Bible. No other Old Testament figure is referenced more. Here are some unusual facts about the prophet. 1. Moses had a speech impediment. He was born with this condition. The Bible describes him as slow of speech and tongue. The exact nature of his impediment is unclear, but he may have stuttered or struggled to form words. Yet God chose Moses to lead Israel. Moses felt insecure about speaking.
"O my Lord, I am not eloquent. I am slow of speech and of tongue."
Moses said to God, Exodus 4:10. So God chose Aaron, Moses' brother, to speak for him. 2. Moses was 80 when God first spoke to him. He spent the first 40 years of his life in Egypt. For the next 40 years, he was a shepherd in Midian. When he was 80, God appeared to him in the burning bush. He called Moses to lead Israel from Egypt. 3. Moses was the first abandoned child mentioned in the Bible. Moses was born when Egypt enslaved the Hebrews. Pharaoh ordered all newborn Israelite boys to be drowned. Moses' mother put him in a basket and floated him down the Nile. He was rescued by Pharaoh's daughter. He grew up in Pharaoh's royal palace. 4. Moses may have briefly had leprosy. God commanded Moses to confront Pharaoh in Egypt. Moses objected to going, so God had Moses put his hand in his cloak. When Moses pulled it out, his hand had scales like snowflakes. Moses again put his hand in the cloak. This time, it came out clean. 5. Moses killed an Egyptian slave master. After seeing an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave, Moses killed the Egyptian. He buried his body in the sand. This forced him to flee to Midian. 6. Moses parted the Red Sea. The Israelites were trapped at the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army approaching. God told Moses to raise his staff. This parted the waters, allowing the Israelites to escape. 7. Moses' face shone after speaking with God. Moses went to Mount Sinai to receive the 10 Commandments. There, he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. After 40 days, Moses' face was radiant. He wore a veil over his face when speaking to the Israelites. 8. Moses broke all 10 commandments first. He was angry at the Israelites for worshiping a golden calf. So Moses smashed the stone tablets inscribed with the 10 commandments. He had to return to Mount Sinai for a new set. 9. Moses was not allowed to enter the Promised Land. It happened because of one incident. The Israelites grew restless. They complained to Moses about no water. God instructed Moses to speak to a rock to bring forth water. Frustrated, Moses struck the rock twice instead. Water still flowed, but God was disappointed. Moses did not follow his precise instructions, so God barred Moses from entering the Promised Land. He could only view it from a mountaintop. 10. Moses died alone on Mount Nebo. He passed away overlooking the Promised Land. Moses had an unusually long life, living to be 120 years old. God sustained him all those years to fulfill his purpose. God buried Moses in an unknown valley in Moab. This location was kept secret, likely to avoid idolatry.